This video, we're just going to be talking about how to invest in the metaverse and actually make money from this brand new opportunity that is happening in our world right now. We're going to be talking about some different stocks you can invest in, some different cryptos, and even NFTs, and buying land in the metaverse and how this whole process works. We got a lot to go over in this video. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. The first thing I want to stress is that with markets down like this in massive red days, especially big stocks like PayPal, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Tesla, it's important that if you have strong conviction and you are investing in these companies and you have money to buy them with, right now is the perfect time to buy. You want to buy stocks when they're cheaper because it widens your margins for bigger gains. But let's go ahead and talk about the first stock on this list, and that's going to be Microsoft, okay? Now we're going to be talking about 3 stocks, a multitude of cryptocurrencies. I believe there's 5, and then we're also going to be talking about NFTs and land. We got a lot in this video, trying to give you guys all the best value. So the first stock is Microsoft, ticker Msft, currently trading for $302 a share. Over the past 3 months, they're actually down 9%, and this is a stock that I myself am buying heavily because recently the way I've been playing my stock portfolio is I've been adding more money heavily into my dividend growth portfolio, and Microsoft is a perfect dividend growth stock. Looking on some key factors, they have a dividend yield of 0.74%, price to earnings ratio of 33.11, and a market cap of 2.27 trillion. Morningstar is saying Microsoft is at roughly a 12% discount. And looking on some more key things, their revenue growth is incredible, their earnings growth is great, huge profit margins. They have on here it says they have a forward annual dividend yield of 8.81%, which is really good. Looking even further, we all know what Microsoft does. Sell Microsoft, they sell Xboxes, different things. I mean, they sell software, they sell Xboxes, so many different things like that. And they have so much scalability. They're a massive company, almost no potential way that they can fail. But looking on these other things, revenues year over year have been doing absolutely incredible. We really love to see that on these companies, and especially with them buying out Activision, I do believe this is a strong buy, especially for Metaverse gains. Let's go ahead and talk about stock number 2. I mean, you can't talk about Metaverse stocks without talking about Meta platforms. Mark Zuckerberg literally just turned Facebook into a Metaverse strictly company, and the stock is down bad over the past 3 months, down 31% because of some earnings that came out. If we go ahead and look at these right here, earnings were supposed to be really good, and they weren't as good as expected. And it was a 5% decline from a year ago in their net income when they were expected to not have that. However, sales reached $33.7 billion, which is more than the $33.4 billion forecasted. So I do believe that this company is still in a great standing. Looking at Morningstar, they're giving them about a 42% discount. So potentially speaking right now, this is a strong buy just looking at these statistics. Now, furthermore, profit margin incredible, revenue growth really good. Their earnings growth is not doing that well, but because of the new ventures that they're taking on and the innovation, I think it's okay that their earnings growth isn't positive right now, as long as you're in this for the long term. And it's not like they're low on cash. They have $48 billion in cash compared to $14.45 billion in debt, so they're still sitting very solid. Free cash flow is looking incredible. Now, Meta Platforms develops products that enable people to connect and share with friends. They own WhatsApp, they own Facebook, they own Instagram. They own a ton of different companies, a ton of different products, and they are just the king of Metaverse. Looking on some statistics and financial of this company, just look at it. 55 million, 70, or this is billion. 55 billion, 70 billion, 85 billion, 117 billion. Numbers out of this world, looking really well. Let's go ahead and talk about stock number 3, and that's going to be Roblox, ticker Rblx. Now this stock is all over the place, especially because it's kind of a riskier growth stock in the economy that we've seen recently, but right now is a good time to buy the dip if you believe in this company for the long term. Down 32% over the past 3 months. Now let's go ahead. Right now on Morningstar, it says Roblox at a 30% discount, so that's really good upside potential. And just looking, they have a $40.47 billion market cap, and their statistics, I mean, they're not profitable right now, but they still are on that pathway to profitability. As you can see, revenue growth has grown 100% year over year. Total cash to total debt is incredible, so we're not worried about this company going bankrupt, at least anytime soon. Financials, if we go ahead and look at their financials real quick, year over year, this growth is incredible. Net income, just check this out. We still are in an expansion era, so we're spending a lot of money just currently. Net income kind of keeps getting worse and worse, but it's because they're expanding and they're making sure they can be the top of the top in this company. let's go ahead and if we go just kind of like talk about what does Roblox do. They develop and operate online entertainment platform. They have Roblox client, different things like that, where people can build their own games, pretty much metaverse games. They have their own currency, Robux, and right now the majority of their like audience is under 13 years old. And so this does drive a lot of potential demand if they can get older individuals and people to kind of hop on. And I think as they expand and as time goes on, they'll become more innovative and they'll find ways to keep older individuals engaged in this app. Now, Roblox is kind of what it is. You just play, there's a ton of different games, a ton of different upside potential, and I really do believe that this stock could be really massive in the long term as long as you can keep up with these short term fluctuations, because that is kind of a part of the process when you're investing in these, I guess you could say, risky growth stocks. But let's go ahead and talk about stock number, or not even stock. This is actually the first crypto on the list, and that's going to be the Sandbox, ticker SAND. Currently trading for $4.51. This is one of the ones that I'm buying heavily right now just because I believe in it. And over the past year, we'll see it's doing really well. And the Sandbox is one of the big two metaverses right now. So if you want to buy land on the Sandbox, this is kind of what the graphics look like. And you can go buy land right now. The floor price is currently sitting at 3.7 ETH. So I think ETH is sitting at about 30. I have ETH, I say it's about $3,100 right now. So if you do that, that's probably going to cost you about $11,000 to buy a little piece of land in the Sandbox. Now the Sandbox currently has 166,464 lands. So that pretty much means there's that many pieces of land available that you can buy. The cheapest one is going for about 11,000 US dollars right now. If you want to buy it, you can go buy it. You buy it on OpenSea, and it's a good way. You can do whatever you want with this land. It's like in real life. If you go buy land in real life, you do what you want. I mean, as long as it's legal. I mean, maybe you build a house there. Maybe you build a restaurant there. Maybe you do something. You can find a way to make income in the metaverse. And there's so many videos, so many articles out there. You can just read and learn exactly how to do that. I do believe that this coin will perform very well, and so will the land itself. And if we go ahead and talk about number two, that's Decentraland, which is like the big metaverse number two. They currently are $3.22 per coin. Over the past year, they have performed really well. And the market cap right now, it's about 5.8 billion. Fully diluted is about 7 billion. The Sandboxes, if we go look at this, market cap is about 4.6 billion. Fully diluted is about 13.4 billion. But let's go ahead and talk about Decentraland land. So it's about 4.98 ETH, almost 5 ETH to buy one of these. And the reason being is because it's got less supply. There's only 90,000 supply that you can buy compared to the 166,000 in the Sandbox. And I do think that this land has a lot of potential. I mean, it's a really good metaverse, you know. The graphics are a little bit different in the two, but they are both very similar in the sense of what you can do in these metaverses. But I do think that the upside potential is definitely there, and I am buying land right now. So let's go ahead and talk about number three, and that's Decentral Games. And that's kind of like games in Decentraland. And one of those big games is going to be Ice Poker. And Ice Poker is a huge game. This is Decentraland's Ice Poker. A 2.05 technically ETH pretty much floor price. And so you can buy one of these pieces of clothing, whatever it might be, shoes. You will put them on your character in the metaverse, and you can go and play to earn poker. So maybe you spend 2 ETH, you know, maybe you spend $7,000 on one of these pieces. And then you can go into the metaverse, you can go into Decentraland, and you can either play poker by yourself and take 100% of the winnings, and it's not like you're actually gambling, you're playing to earn. So you're getting paid to play. You're not gambling any money. Or what you can do is you can pretty much lend, you can borrow, you can take your clothing and you can send it to somebody else, and they can play, and you'll get part of their profits from them playing. And so it's a great way to add passive income, potentially speaking. Now, it's not like you're going to become a millionaire overnight with that. You're not going to make that much money from it, but long term, it definitely can pay off. I think maybe you make like 50 to $100 a day from doing that if you do it yourself. And if you do passive income, you don't have to spend any of your time, and you can make 20, $30 a day from just doing that alone. And then to rinse it off, I think that the two biggest currencies to buy is Ethereum, because Ethereum runs NFTs. It's a big part of the metaverse. And also Solana. I think Solana is a really good buy. It's kind of like Ethereum on steroids with no gas fees, higher transactions per second, great things like that. But everybody, that is, in my personal opinion, the best way to invest in the metaverse right now. So if you enjoyed the video, Make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos. Check out M1 Finance if you haven't already. Use a link in the description or the pinned comment down below. Check out my Udemy courses. All this stuff is really good. The courses are on sale right now. You're going to be getting 7.5 valuable hours of content. Make sure to check it out. Thank you for making it to the end of this video, and I will see you at the next one.